I never imagined I would have to pretend to be someone else to protect my son. At my age, I had already seen how quickly people judge based on appearances. They listen to clothes before words and measure worth through money. Still, I never expected to experience this truth so personally. What began as a simple meeting became a life lesson for everyone involved. My name is Mary Collins, a 60-year-old widow living in the United States. My husband passed away years ago, leaving me with one son, Daniel. I raised him alone, teaching him honesty, humility, and self-respect. Life tested us many times, but we never complained. Quietly, we built a stable and comfortable life. What most people never knew was that I was not poor at all. I owned rental properties, had solid savings, and lived debt-free. I chose a simple lifestyle because peace mattered more than showing off. I believed true dignity did not need an audience. That belief would soon be tested. Daniel grew into a responsible and kind man with a stable professional career. One evening, he told me he wanted to marry a woman named Emily. He spoke highly of her character and education. Then he hesitated before mentioning her family's wealth. He explained that Emily's parents were very status-conscious and financially powerful. They had already asked detailed questions about our background. Daniel avoided talking about our assets on purpose. He wanted to be valued for who he was, not what he owned. That night, I could not sleep. I had seen marriages fail because of pride and class differences. I needed to understand the people who might become my extended family. So I made a quiet decision that surprised even myself. I decided that when I met my future daughter-in-law's family, I would appear poor and naive. I would let them believe I was a struggling widow with nothing to offer. I wanted to see their true behavior, not their polite performance. Sometimes truth only appears when power is removed. On the day of the meeting, I dressed in my oldest but clean clothes. I carried a simple purse and wore no jewelry. Daniel looked uncomfortable when he saw me, but I asked him to trust me. He agreed, even though he did not fully understand. Emily's family lived in a large, luxurious home. From the moment I entered, I felt their eyes scanning me. They noticed my clothes, my posture, and my silence. Their smiles were polite but distant. The questions started almost immediately. They asked how I managed alone and what kind of house I lived in. I answered softly and modestly, downplaying everything. With each answer, their respect slowly faded. Their tone changed as the conversation continued. They began directing most questions to Daniel instead of me. Wedding expenses were discussed as if we had no say. I sat quietly, observing every reaction. Before we left, Emily's father said they needed time to think about compatibility. His words were polite, but his meaning was clear. On the drive home, Daniel was visibly upset. He asked why I allowed myself to be treated that way. I told him that sometimes silence reveals more than arguments. I explained that now we knew how they treated people they believed were beneath them. He finally understood my intention. That knowledge, I said, was more valuable than approval. A few days later, Emily's family requested another meeting at a restaurant. This time, their attitude was colder and more formal. They openly expressed concern about social and financial differences. I listened without interrupting. I calmly told them that we were not desperate for the match. If the relationship was built on discomfort, we were willing to walk away. That confidence surprised them. They had expected compromise, not dignity. After that meeting, there was silence for a week. Then something unexpected happened. Emily came to my home alone, without her parents. She looked around our modest living space and became emotional. She admitted her parents judged people by wealth and status. She said she did not want to live her life trapped in that mindset. Her honesty touched me deeply. She asked me if I would be strong enough to stand up to her parents if she married my son. I smiled and told her that strength does not always speak loudly. Sometimes it simply stands firm. She nodded, understanding my meaning. A final meeting was arranged at her parents' house. This time, I brought my brother with me. During casual conversation, he mentioned his profession and investments naturally. The change in the room was immediate. Respect returned to their voices and posture. That was when I finally spoke clearly. I told them I was never poor or helpless. I explained that I had chosen simplicity by choice, not circumstance. I wanted to see how they treated someone they believed had nothing. The room fell silent. Emily's parents were embarrassed and apologetic. But apologies driven by fear sound very different from those born from understanding. I turned to Emily and told her the choice was hers. She took Daniel's hand and said she chose respect over status. In that moment, I knew the truth had done its work. The wedding was simple, peaceful, and dignified. There was no unnecessary show, only sincere joy. Today, Emily calls me mom with genuine affection. Her parents slowly learned that wealth can impress, but character commands respect. And I learned that pretending to be poor revealed the richest truth of all. Never judge people by appearance or status. The most powerful strength often lives quietly, unseen, until it is truly needed.